on YouTube. This is the very latest news from Fabulous 103 and the Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. It would be great if you liked and subscribed to us. Over 3,000 Burmese have fled across the border into Thailand over the weekend period, following an escalation in the civil war there and leading to an increase in Thai military presence along the border to ensure that the fighting does not overspill into this country. Many of those who fled here had indeed been here before during fighting and subsequently returned to their homeland, but see Thailand as a safe haven from increased aerial bombardment by both sides. With some arriving injured, Thai authorities have set up not only camps with provisions, but also medical facilities to treat them, as the Prime Minister is quoted as saying that he is deeply concerned about the escalating conflict along the border. Thai press is reporting that funding has been secured by the ailing Italian-Thai development company, previously reported as teetering at the point of going into administration. Rather than lose out completely, it appears that several creditors have increased their funding, and those include several major banks. The son of the Deputy Public Health Minister was jailed for 2 months and fined a nominal 8,000 baht after being caught driving whilst drunk in the capital. The 46-year-old was nabbed after he tried to evade a checkpoint by crashing his sports car into a barrier, which failed to give way to him. Duly refusing a breathalyzer, police did eventually test him, and his reading close to 4 times the legal limit. That sentence was commuted to a suspended one. Bangkok police have their hands full trying to figure out who's telling the truth after a French woman was arrested, having allegedly organised a kidnap plan to seize a young girl and demand a ransom from her Australian parents. According to the parents, one of her gang decided to warn them ahead of time so the child remained untouched. However, when arrested, the 43-year-old Frenchwoman told police that it was all a lie, that she's a genuine businesswoman and that the Australians had conned her out of 185 million baht in an investment scam. No word yet as to who was telling the truth. A 32-year-old Indian man remains in custody in Kanchanaburi after the fatal stabbing of a 51-year-old lady in a Bangkok condo. The frenzied attack was followed by his escape on a motorbike, and reports indicate that he confessed, saying the cause was anger. And no word on the outcome of a falling out between 2 Chinese men in Prachinburi, both of whom had romantic attachments to the same woman. With both remaining in hospital due to injuries, they'd been questioned by police after the one burst into the woman's room where she was entertaining the other. That hit local headlines, and for sure locals wait to hear whether either will remain faithful to their less than reliable beau. Meanwhile, at home and in our own region, rumours of terror in Banglamung were exaggerated in media reports last week after a pipe burst at a local ice storage facility, seeing ammonia leaking into the air. At the time of the incident, locals were evacuated as a precaution, and several claimed to have issues with breathing. But the leak was quickly stemmed by staff, and air checks revealed a negative result of the pungent gas. For sure, the smell was less than desirable, but according to authorities, the speedy reaction by staff reduced the impact to a minimum. However, a dozen employees did need treatment for sure. Locally at Chak Nok Reservoir, villagers have complained to authorities that much of the narrow lanes adjacent to the lake have become dumping grounds for fly tippers, too lazy or too tight to pay to get rid of waste. Everything from builders' rubbish to garden leftovers and domestic trash can be seen littering roads, as it once did in other roads nearby, but where new development has put a stop to it. Locals claim that the effluent washed down during rains ends up in reservoirs, and that on its own was enough to see local City Hall go into action, and a clean-up is expected. Songkran is over for Pattaya now, and with many sighing with relief, others rue the end of a week of water fun and madness that's seeing the city swell in numbers, hotels busy, and all forms of outlets doing well. Problems? Well, really only the usual. A few pickpockets taking advantage of revellers, a bunch of teenagers having a few fights, and apart from that, the biggest issue was sickness from heat. Now back to normal, it's recommended to avoid venues such as immigration and the utility companies, and even banks for a few days, until queues subside. But otherwise it's back to normal in Fun City. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 34 degrees dropping down to 29, another sticky, humid day, with breezes in the afternoon but real feel of 41 in the shade. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.